For the first time in 46 years, the best of the best in the Sports Car Club of America return to the West Coast for the club's annual one-race battle for the title of champion in 27 classes. This year's three-day duel for the medals brings over 400 racers to California's Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca on the stunning Monterey Peninsula. It's time to seriously step up at the 2014 and 51st SCCA National Championship Runoffs. Welcome everybody. There is a look at the Touring 2 pre-grid area. The cars are about to take to the course for the final national championship battle of Day 2 of the 2014 SCCA National Championship Runoffs. It is Touring 2. I'm Greg Creamer, joined by Jeff Lepper, and down to the pits, Hayward Wagner. These cars are going to be coming by in a minute. Hayward, tell us about them.
Touring classes are born out of showroom stock competition. These are as close as road-going cars as we have here at the SCCA Runoffs. Some safety modifications, some modifications to the car to make them a little more track-worthy. The Touring 2 class, some of the most iconic names in motorsports: Camaro, Corvette, Porsche, Mustang, all represented here in the Touring 2 field.
Absolutely, and believe me, they go. They are some very, very quick equipment, but as Hayward said, what I like about it is, you know, they make cars these days that are just plain high performance. You don't have to modify them up too much. So what they do is they say, just, you know, obviously you have to make a couple of changes when you're going to stress them absolutely 100% lap after lap after lap, just to withstand those pressures, Jeff. And then, of course, the required safety changes on the cars. But otherwise, you know, they're plenty quick enough.
Yeah, especially in the Touring 2 category. Really all that is you're going to put some set of tires that you prefer, maybe a different set of wheels, some small performance modifications to do sort of a balanced performance, because you do see Mustang,
right,
Camaro, Porsche. We saw Honda back there a little bit earlier, the Chevy Corvette. So you got to get those guys to kind of run together. But yeah, you put the roll cage in, a fire system, maybe a removable steering wheel there, some good set of brake pads, and let's go race.
Absolutely, without a doubt. And two cars up in that top three are Phoenix Performance Machines. And the one on pole, to me, is an absolutely great story. The 35 of Kurt Resitano. For many years, he was basically the truck driver that would drive one of the rigs and was the right front tire changer for the Continental Tire sports car team. And at one point, you know, during the off season, they got everybody out there as a sort of a thanks to the crew. They put people in cars and said, go have some fun, drive some laps, you've earned it. Resitano went out there and was spanking everybody, including some of the fast guys, and they went, boy, maybe we need to have him driving something else. And now he's essentially their lead driver in the Continental Tire Sports Car Series, puts it on pole.
Yeah, does it here in the T2 category, and another one of those Phoenix Performance Ford Mustangs. Right back behind him, though, Andrew Longi out of Naples, Florida, and another one of those Fall Line Motorsports, yeah, Porsche 911. This is the 997 version versus the Cup version that we saw a little bit earlier running in the GT2 category, so this is more of the street version of that 911.
The third place car, that bright red, number 77, is Preston Calvert, another Phoenix Performance Machine. He's absolutely one of the guys that's got a lot on the line here, not like they all don't, but he's super sweep eligible, so if he can somehow get up and win this thing, he would be only, by my count, the second guy to win a super sweep here so far this weekend in the 16th of the 24 races that's going to unfold. That's pretty special territory for Preston Calvert. Kyle Kelly is going to be out there in the number 79. That's one of the Corvettes, picked by Sports Car as the third guy that they thought would have a shot at the medals. By the way, the number 3, Rich Rigda, in the Chevy Performance Parts Caravan Tremac Porsche Camaro, that white Camaro. He has been blindingly quick at times during practice and qualifying, but the guy tends to love to throw the car around. And what I'm watching is to see, is he able to keep those tires alive if he goes hard early, or is he going to backpedal a little bit and try and conserve? He certainly has the pace, but it's a matter of keeping it together. Back in 8th, Scotty White. In this one, he's the one who was chosen by Sports Car to win it, but he didn't quite get the qualifying run in he wanted.
Yeah, 4 classes Scotty White's running in, trying to get that gold medal. He's got a long way to go, starting 8th today.
And we're about to find out who is going to take home the medals, as out of the final turn, the pace car is in. The T2 field heading up to the green flag. You'll know, yep, you hear those engines come alive. We are green for the final time on this Saturday, Day 2 of the SCCA's National Championship Runoff. Big attempt by Preston Calvert to get down the inside of Andrew Longa as they get down, and Rich Rigda getting it all wrong.
No.
Oh, huge hit into the pole sitter. Kurt Razzatano, it all went wrong. Scotty White unbelievably gathered up in this mess as well. Preston Calvert survives. I think that was Kyle Kelly who was able to come through as well. But unbelievable, a huge, huge moment there, Jeff.
Yeah, I don't think that was any fault of the Camaro's fault. You know, I think it was more of the green and blue, green and black Camaro moving over and making that contact there. And Razzatano, no, just oblivious to that car coming there, backed into him.
Yeah, he never would have seen that coming at all. There's Rigda, and of course he's going to have. I'm amazed he's actually moving because he backed into Razzatano. Very, very tough. Ooh, big wiggle heading up the hill by your now leader, the 79 of Kyle Kelly. He's got Andrew Longa in that fall line Porsche right on his 6th. Then a bit of a gap now back to Preston Calvert, running in 3rd, right where he qualified. Somehow able to escape all of that mess.
Wow, that was just a huge incident down there. We saw a couple other notables in the field. Michael Pettiford making his 43rd start at the Runoffs. He was collected. I saw that Pontiac Solstice pulled off into the dirt as well.
So right now, bit of a margin here, but there's that whistle. So I wonder if we may be going full course caution. There's a huge mess down there. Yep, the double yellows are out. So this one is going to go full course caution in the early running here as your leader, Kyle Kelly, will come by and slow the field down. The pace car has headed out onto the track. Andrew Long 2nd, Calvert 3rd, and the number 89 of Addison Lee. That is that Cortex Racing Don Lee Executive Search Ford Mustang that now sits in the 4th spot with Anthony D'Alessandro in the number 99 up into 5th from 11th.
Oh yeah, wow. It's a good run for him, and we have that Sunoco Hard Charger Award. But you see Razzatano, he's out of the car. Looks like he's okay. You see him walking back over there behind the wall. Unfortunate, his runoffs, all that work he's done is over in the 2nd corner.
Yeah, the Cinderella story is at an end, and of no doing of his own. Jeff, here's what happened again. Oh yeah, Rigda got hit, didn't he?
Yeah, Rigda just got hit, slides backwards right into the side of Razzatano. I don't think there was too much more hitting behind him. As you see, Scotty B. White just sort of trying to avoid it to get out of the way to not make contact, but he did get back underway, just shuffled back in the field.
Yeah, and Rigda was right there, and that 89 just turned into the corner. I'm not sure he even realized that Rigda was there, although he had come up around the outside of Rigda, so it's kind of tough to realize, well, he didn't just suddenly disappear as I went by him. So a little bit of contact, but that is you're heading into a very, very tricky corner to start with, and you have that kind of contact, and there comes Rigda into the pits. That back end, that's not just a cut tire and rim. That's not rolling right either. That thing's hurt.
Yeah, it sure is. And, boy, you see the Phoenix Performance team. I don't think they've seen the replay. It's not really his fault, unfortunately. He's just a victim, I think, as well as Razzatano was a victim. So it's really, not his fault.
Absolutely. You wonder if Rigda was driving by the Phoenix team with the net down going, I got hit.
Yeah, I got hit.
And
sorry.
he did.
It was not me.
Yeah, without it. And, just on a personal level, I'm bummed because he was spectacular to watch. Rigda was. He was a joy to watch. Like I said, he might have burned his tires off, in a long race, but man, was he a joy to watch haul that beautiful Camaro around the track. So tough break in the early going. Kelly, Long, Calvert, then Addison Lee, then D'Alessandro is the 5th place car. Matt Slavens in the number 68 is in the 6th spot. 7th is the 149 of Gregory Shermer, up from 10th. In the 8th spot, the number 83 of William Moore, up from 14th. 9th is the 05 at Nathan Waldbaum, and completing the top 10 is the 7 of Russ Peterson. Let's take another look at it.
Okay, you see Addison Lee there, that black and green Camaro just touches the right front of the number 3 Rigda in his Camaro. That Mustang making contact and just backs right into the driver door of Razzatano. There's Scotty White and Michael Pettiford running by. They're back in 16th and 17th respectively.
Yeah, they both got it stopped and avoided, as you said. I didn't see any contact on that, but they had to come to a complete stop at that point. So, that's obviously is backing him up a lot. And there's Rigda hopping out of that car. Good thing he's okay. That was a big hit. And you said, obviously, you had seen as well Kurt Razzatano get out of the car. So that's the best. That's the best news. That's the most important thing. Now let's take a look. We're going to give you one more look at it. And again, remember that Addison Lee started in the 6th spot. And basically he just, as Rigda got in the brakes, Lee just went around him and then turned right across his nose and got into Rigda, and that's what shoved him over into Razzatano. And boy, Razzatano hit so hard it put the hazards on as he came by. So that was a tough one. And you know, I think part of it was obviously Addison got he lost a spot on the start, and then Lee really, it looked like, Rigda was tighter to the inside, had to brake a little harder to get in there, and Lee just arced around, didn't he?
Yeah, it sure looked like Addison Lee was a little late on the brakes there. That car kind of danced a little bit in the rear, went down to the inside, and I think you just collected Rigda. And you're on the edge of the ABS, you're hard on the brakes. That's the fastest part of this course at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, especially on a restart. You're trying to get as late braking as you can. That car's a little unbalanced through there, and just made a little tiny bit of contact. You saw that. It wasn't a hit, it was just a touch, and right down to the inside.
But even though you're on ABS, I mean, the theory is still you're on the threshold with the ABS, and the key word there is threshold, because it's easy to exceed it when you're on it. So that's put us under a full course caution, so we're going to step away a bit early here in our coverage of T2 at the National Championship Runoffs. We will be back in just a minute, and hopefully we'll be back to green, and that means we'll have a lot of racing yet to bring in. We'll just be absent a couple of key players. That's too bad.
The 2014 SCCA National Championship Runoffs are being brought to you in HD by Mazda. Conviction, creativity, courage. This is the Mazda way. And by Hankook, driving emotion.
Some people go to enormous lengths in the name of safety, like the inventor of the flame-resistant racing suit, Bill Simpson. Courageous engineering is also the Mazda way, and why the 2014 Mazda 3 has an available class-exclusive suite of 8 safety features and a top safety rating. Because when it comes to safety, you can never go too far. This is the 2014 Mazda 3. What do you drive?
This is Kenny. Kenny is a dentist, but he races autocross on the weekends. But he's not thinking about his tires right now. Kenny buys all his tires from TireRack.com. Using their exclusive test track reviews, he knows he's always getting the right tires for his car. But Kenny's not thinking about tires right now. Kenny's thinking, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. This is awesome. TireRack.com, proud sponsor of the Tire Rack SCCA National Solo Program.
Machines and their manufacturers span the planet. This is no spec series. Diversity breeds excellence and brings battle. Ride with the best and test the iconic circuits of North America. No pit stops, no quarter. The world watches and knows this is how racing should be.
Ready to go back to green here for our race to the medals in the Touring 2 division, T2 at the National Championship Runoffs. Pace car is in. We will be completing lap number 3. Lots of racing yet to go, and leading him to the green is going to be up from the 4th spot, the number 79, that silver Corvette of Kyle Kelly. The green is on, but Andrew Long timed it to perfection. Jeff got a great run. He's going to try and sneak down the inside. There's the defense move by Kelly, squeezed him a little bit, but Long, can he get in deep enough? And look at Preston Calvert trying to follow Long through if there's any kind of a gap. Long, it's got that inside line, big wide move by Kyle Kelly, but boy, did he carry speed around the outside. Got the inside now for 3, he's through.
Yeah, you can do that if you make a nice big long arc through turn number 2. You get that momentum coming through the outside. Kyle Kelly did that to perfection.
Well, I think he knew if he let Andrew Long go by, it was going to be a long afternoon trying to chase him down, because that Porsche is slippery. Long now going to try a move up into turn 5. He's there. Got that tighter entrance into the corner. Kelly wanted to do the over-under, and Long put that Porsche in absolutely the right spot, didn't he?
He sure did. Got those super traps hanging out of the back of that, trying to make sound. But Kelly back to the inside of 6.
Oh, boy, that's fantastic. Long tightening up that exit. And look at this move now. Addison Lee trying to come up the inside. And a huge hit. Preston Calvert over into Addison Lee. Calvert sliding through the grass. Can he gather it up? He does, and is able to get it actually through turn number 8 and into the carousel. That was a bizarre moment.
That sure was. That looked a little purposeful. I'm not going to say that wasn't on purpose, but both sides.
You're just saying.
I'm just saying. I'm just making a note.
Well, you know, interesting. Yeah, exactly.
Put a little pin in it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Down into the 11th and final turn once again. And Kelly able to survive that attack from Andrew Long in that lap, and now is able to open it up a little bit. And Addison Lee, he now looks like he might be a bit wounded. That was a pretty hard slam.
Yeah, it sure was, and I thought it looks like Preston Calvert was hurt a little bit too, so we'll have to see if, oh, he's pulling off to the side. He is done.
Oh, and he's parked it too, and that's not a great area. Okay, good deal. He's going to see if he can back it down into pit lane, and if he can get that clear, that will be a good deal. Meanwhile, here we go. Kyle Kelly turning a 139.7 on that last lap, going back to green and Long, and with that, that little bump and grind there, the third and fourth place guys now are out of it essentially, and that puts the 99 of Anthony D'Alessandro and the 68 of Matt Slavens up into third and fourth. And Slavens in that Porsche, boy, did he get a wicked quick run out of turn 4, and he actually almost had to take a vase if he had such good exit speed.
That sure did there, coming out to the side. But look at these fall line Porsches, 2nd, 3rd, and 5th in the T2 category, having a great run for Fall Line Motorsports.
Yeah, Mark Bowden earlier today said we got a lot of guys here, and we're really open for them to have a day that'll shine for this team, and they are. There's no question about that. Kelly going a 139.7, as I said, on that last lap. And by the way, we need to make a mention to this. Kurt Rezzitano, we talked about him being on pole, but the fact of the matter was he was on pole by 6/10 of a second. It was his race to lose had he been able to get through and get that first lap in. So that's got to be just doubly gutted by Rezzitano, who knew how fast he was, the potential he had to take home a gold today.
And there's nothing that could have been done there. You're just making the corner, and you get hit really from behind in the side door. And side by side, D'Alessandro a little bit loose, trying to not get into the side of the number 149 Porsche, Gregory Schirmer.
Yeah, Schirmer and D'Alessandro are having a great scrap. Schirmer able to get around him, but D'Alessandro, remember we had just talked about, he was right there up in that 4th spot, right behind Slavens, so things are changing in a big hurry here. And Slavens is throwing down some laps at this point. He is actually, for a minute there, closed it up on the back of Andrew Long, but Andrew Long just turned a 138.6. So now we're starting to get to some serious race pace. Yeah, getting that groove, starting to hit these braking points, trying to run down that Corvette, coming down through turn at number 5, Kyle Kelly. Now I gotta think that heavier Z06 Chevy Corvette's gonna maybe wear those tires just a little bit quicker than the little nimble Porsche. Yeah, well, and what Kelly's got to do right now, I would think, is to be extremely smooth. He needs to be just extremely smooth, not to run those tires off. Don't push too hard, and if Andrew gets right up behind him and hounds him, don't lose your focus, don't lose your cool, and start throwing that big heavy vet around. You've got to keep those tires underneath. Yeah, and he's 0.2 of a second quicker that last time by, but about a second gap between these two drivers, and using the torque off that Corvette off these tight corners, and then the momentum of that Porsche 911 down through these sweepy corners, turn number 10 into the braking zone of turn number 11. Well, it is a battle of where you're best and where you're a deficit and the other guy's best, and just try and minimize the loss through the areas you're not the best in, and then drive it through the ones you are. And I got a feeling that Kelly's going to be spending most of this race inside that helmet going, remember, smooth as fast, smooth as fast, smooth as fast. And so far, he's been beautiful. I mean, Andrew Long just showing the nose there a little bit, but nowhere near close enough to make the pass. And as you said, sometimes it's all a matter of which line the driver likes and which line the car likes through a corner. Yeah, and even if the driver doesn't like it and the car doesn't like it, but it's fast, that's the line you're going to take. Yep, that's all about being quick. So there we go, out of 3, up into 4 once again. Last time by the margin, back to Matt Slavens, had actually blown up. And Andrew Long, again, quicker by about 1/10 of a second over Kelly, and Long again going to make the move deep on the brakes up into this turn. Kelly, though, going to try and park it around the outside. Good idea, because that makes Long have to slow down and tighten that radius up just a little bit. I'm not sure what Kelly's trying to do right there. You know, outside through 6. Boy, this is awesome stuff, Jeff. Oh, it sure is, but boy, they're giving each other a lot of room. Got to give a good shout out to both of them. Good gentlemen driving here. And Long, coming up into this turn, says, well, maybe I live to fight another day here, and just tuck back in behind. Yeah, those are two guys giving each other the respect that each one of those guys deserve. We haven't seen that earlier in the session, but you've seen it right here at the top of the field. Although Kelly did give him a couple of little hello, going up the hill.
Just little love taps, hey, I'm here.
That's just to dissuade him from making an attack here as we get a little bit further around the lap. Here we go, down into 11. Boy, so close. Long is so good on the brakes. Not a surprise. Porsches are rather renowned for the brakes, aren't they?
Watching Scotty White move up. He's up to 7th, running about 2 seconds quicker than the two guys in front of him, William Moore and Anthony D'Alessandro, in 5th and 6th. So watch for that Mustang of Scotty White on the charge.
Scotty White has got to be going, what do I have to do to win one of these things? I mean, he had a great scrap to 2nd, but not a win, and I don't know, he's 5 or 6 seconds he's had over the course of his runoff career, a lot of them. And then he had, the second race he was in, got involved, got taken out, in a big, well, not taken out, but involved in a big wreck that totally wrote his car off. And now this, positioned to maybe be able to make a charge. In qualifying, after the second qualifying session, he was back in 18th, and he gained 11 spots in that 3rd session. They found the issue, and he made up a huge chunk, and then to get parked and just park way back there in that first lap incident, he's just got to be going unbelievable. Yeah, up to 6th now. You see Michael Pettiford. He's worked his way back up to 8th as well. Looking back through our field, there's the number 05 Chevy Corvette of Natha Waldbaum, and Waldbaum doing a great job in that Corvette, making the runoffs here at Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca. Another one of those Phoenix Performance Mustangs with Carl Fung right in front of that. Yeah, and Natha from 13th into the top 10, so he's going to be pretty pleased with that. No question of that. Russ Peterson in the 11th spot, right behind him, up from 17th. So there's a potential Sunoco hard charger candidate. Again, that all gets tabulated after the race ends, but that Peninsula Equine Ford Mustang GT doing a nice job from way back as we have a good look at the 05 of Nathan Waldbaum and the Hutler Performance Hoosier and Vetsport C5Z. Here's Pettiford, and he now is closing in on the back of the 83 of Moore. That's the other Camaro in the race. And here we go. Boy, not far behind Pettiford, though, is the 30. I think that's the 30 of David Ray. So we've got a superb battle here for 7th at this point. They're all chasing White, who was making a move up there. That might be White going around D'Alessandro and picking up a top 5 at this point. Yeah, silly me. I see a black Mustang with yellow numbers, and I say it's a Phoenix Performance car, but it's actually Hooked on Driving Dave Ray. So I got, law of averages. You see a Mustang with yellow. Got to think that's what it is. Yeah, you got to go on with it. That's interesting. We got 2 guys battling, Hooked on Driving and Go For It Racing School. Oh, there you go. Both of them going off there. And of course, David Ray doing those track days with Hooked on Driving, some strictly driving instruction. You bring your street car out and run out there. And I remember Dave Ray having that Stone Ridge Mitsubishi Starion back in 1987. So him and my dad used to race together back in the late 80s. So great to see Dave Ray still doing it at the runoffs. Yeah, absolutely. And there you see Scotty White, that Zero Night Transport Mustang has gone around the 99 of Anthony D'Alessandro, and that puts him up into a top 5. He just turned a 39.5, which by my reckoning, other than our 2 leaders, so it'd be the 3rd fastest lap of the race right now for Scotty White. Yeah, good run for him, getting that back over there and back underway after that incident. And it really wasn't an incident. He just tried to avoid the accident, got stuck behind that car, had to back it up and get back underway, coming from 16th all the way to 6th now. Yeah, he was just avoiding somebody else's incident, but it put him way back. So a great charge by Scotty White now up into that 5th spot as he works his way down into turn 11. And we'll be completing lap 10. So basically, we're at the halfway point of our run to the championships in T2, Touring 2, here at the Runoffs. Absolutely phenomenal afternoon here. Up front, it is still Kyle Kelly, and that margin now is blown up over Andrew Long to half a second. It's extending. Well, talk about Scotty B. White, 4 categories of racing here. Yeah. So to qualify for a majors, you got to run during out the year. So to run all the classes that he races and then qualify in all those classes, just a great job from him. I got to think with all the cars that he runs, why doesn't he just create his own class and maybe he could get a win? Absolutely.
I mean, that's really you got to feel for the guy trying to get that gold medal, and I guarantee you, he may not get it here this weekend, but he'll be back next year trying to get it.
Oh, without
and the year
a doubt.
after that if he doesn't get it. That's how Scotty White likes to race.
That's how he rolls. Yeah, watch this now. Scotty White is running 2 to 3 seconds a lap faster than the 149 of Gregory Shermer. Shermer qualified back in the 10th spot and did a brilliant job as picking his way through that opening lap melee and found himself up into the top 5, then went to 4th. but now Scotty B. White is coming. He's dropped the hammer a little bit and is definitely starting to close up, and he does have time left. I don't know if he'll be able to make up the chunk of time that he's got in deficit then to Matt Slavens to have a shot at another podium. But see, Slavens has been running 39s, and that's where Scotty White is, so that's going to be tough, but at least he might be able to get up to 4th.
Yeah, maybe get up to 4th. He's running a little bit slower than the 3rd car, but you know, you never know what might happen at the front of this field. So far, we don't even know what's happening in T2, so who knows what's going to happen here.
Yeah, we definitely have had incidents, you know, late in the race, things can happen. Traffic, we've seen that play a huge role, certainly already. So you never give up. I mean, that's just the nature of the sport. And so there was Slavens and, there was Shermer, and here comes White. He goes his personal best, a 39.3. Shermer responded with a 40.8, but still Scotty over a second quicker here. And that margin, the deficit to Shermer has dropped to under 4 seconds to 3.7. There you see the two of them.
And he did pick up a second over Slavens that lap also, so he's only 11 seconds behind Slavens for 3rd.
And of course, you know, he's driving that is a big, powerful Mustang, so it carries a little bit more weight. So, you know, it's a difficult, you know, sort of balancing act, isn't it? You're on the tightrope trying to go fast and yet save something. And here we go again. Like I said, Long, it had opened up to half a second. Not anymore. He has reeled him in just a little bit, as now it's down to, what, 3 car lengths?
Yeah, down the hill, out of the corkscrew. Kyle Kelly, you got to think that heavier Corvette Z06 going to wear those tires quicker than the lighter Porsche 911, but doing a great job staying in front. We'll see him tomorrow running the GT1 category as well in a Corvette, so good run for him. We saw him in a Dodge Viper in some Pirelli World Challenge competition as well, so all around, just doing all kinds of racing for Kyle Kelly, leading our T2 category, but that is going to be under attack here pretty soon.
Oh, I think so, and the amazing thing to me is the consistency. You know, Long's quickest lap of 38.1, Kelly's at 38.3. Their last laps have been 38.5s, 38.4s, now they're 38.6s. I mean, they are consistently into that low to mid 38, and again, under the brakes, Long closes it up big time. And I love watching Kelly drive the exit of 2 there, because he uses up every bit of road. And what he's trying to do there by that longer arc, you're opening the radius up, which means you're not putting quite as much stress on the tires.
Yeah, and he sure had to pinch it off just a little bit there coming out of turn at number 3. Didn't want to drop a couple of wheels off, and that hurt his momentum a little bit coming out of the corner here. Down into turn number 5. Can Long make the pass? Looking to the inside.
Well, he always shows the nose, and he's been able to get there a couple of times. He's there, but again, Kelly able to stay put around the outside, and Long in this case does not try and fight it too much and just drifts over Jeff, tucks right in behind him. And even so, though, look at that. I mean, just that little bit of tightening that radius up in 5, it's cost him a good 5 car lengths.
Yeah, it sure has, and I think that Kyle Kelly's doing that not really on purpose, but he is giving him just enough room to make him want to do it, and that's some great racecraft that he's showing.
And here we go down the hill, and yeah, I mean, you know, it's a good point. From turn 5 up the hill, you got a nice, powerful, torquey V8 that's going to be pulling you up through the hill. Now down the hill, you've got a very sweet handling and fleet light Porsche that just works these corners so well. You got to love the balance here. That's the, you know, the issue, and what it really comes down to: weight and horsepower in a car. In this category is Kelly. That's the first time we've seen him drop wheels. But weight and power means, or power means weight, and weight generally means harder on tires and brakes the later the race goes. So Kelly's, I mean, he's doing a brilliant job so far. But wow, he's got this is going to be a tough one.
Yeah, Long down into the braking zone. You saw the brake lights come on that Porsche just a wee bit later than that Chevy Corvette. So the Corvette a little heavier, has to hit the brakes a little earlier, but uses that grunt coming off the corners to pull back away from Long. But Long closing back in on this flat part of the course, right to the edge, just a little bit of dust cloud off to the exit of turn number 3.
Well, and that's a trick that some drivers will know when they've got a torque advantage, but maybe not a handling advantage. The best thing you can do then, and maybe that's what we're seeing Kelly kind of doing, like you were alluding to in 5, slow that Porsche down more and then use that power to leap away. Long this time going, now what happens if I just follow him through the corner? Oh, look at this, I don't lose much.
Yeah, maybe get a draft up the hill, try to make a move back down through turn number 10 or possibly down into turn number 11. Don't think he has the power or the torque or grunt to pull up the hill into the corkscrew to make that pass, but definitely has the handling to stay with him.
Well, and if he could just be closer, then he could maybe get Kelly to make that little bobble, get a little bit too hot into turn 8. you know, sometimes it's not about necessarily just driving by the guy. Sometimes it's hustling him and forcing him into that little bit of an error here, like we saw Kelly a little wide at the exit of 11, and we just saw a little bit of a slide by Kelly there at the exit of Rainey.
Yeah, he's really pushing, trying to get going, and that could be long too. I'm going to stick right behind him, right on his back bumper, try to rat him a little bit. Maybe I can make him into a mistake. We've seen Kelly drop a couple of wheels off in a few of these corners.
Boy, he was perfection through 11 that time, though, so well done by Kelly as we are now completing lap 13, 7 laps to go in this one. And that exit out of 11, that really helped him, because now long is nowhere near close enough to take a serious run at him down into turn 2. And that's what I was talking about earlier. Kelly, he's just got to make sure that he stays super smooth, gets the power down, doesn't spin the rears up, anything like that, because he's got that advantage. If he can slow long down just a little bit, he can get out of the corner better.
Yeah, really want to work that momentum, but like you said before, Greg, I think Kyle Kelly's playing that game. Slow that Porsche up, take away that momentum that is that Porsche's advantage. Just doing a great job leading this T2 field.
Absolutely, and of course, you know, pushing that Porsche hard, that engine right over those drive wheels, you know, that also, you can find yourself burning up those weirs trying to get that to swing around. And look at this, Scotty White has gone around, as we said, Shermer into that 4th spot, but once he got by him, Shermer hasn't exactly let him go, and I wonder if Scotty just used those tires up a little bit trying to get there.
Yeah, Matt Slavens was 1.2 seconds quicker. The gap was 11 seconds, and now it's 13.5 that Scotty B is going to have to get and catch up to Slavens if he wants to get a podium here in T2.
Absolutely, and I think Shermer is benefiting from that, because suddenly now he's found himself in a spot to be able to keep going. And again, a great run by Shermer. Like you said, 10th is where he ended up qualifying. Currently right now, running in 5th, maybe a shot at 4th. That would be a pretty solid day for Greg Shermer, no question about that.
Yeah, Preston Calvert, the problems he had earlier, he's out. One of the notables too, Kurt Rizzitano out of this field, Addison Lee out of this field, so half of your field is gone.
Boy, Shermer just had a bad moment though down in 8A, which is the right-hander right at the bottom of the corkscrew. It looked like he just pushed way, way wide, and he just lost a ton of ground.
Oh yeah, you see the gap there now. Scotty White, take a little deep breath there, maybe tighten those belts a little bit, and let's see if he can make a run for the podium with 6 laps left in this race.
There's that beautiful Porsche, the number 149, another fall line machine. And I love the personal name for Greg Shermer. After fall line racing on the entries, it goes Posh Racing. Yes, we race Porsches and we do it with the best of them. But right now he's chasing Scotty White. That's where that scenario is right now. And just that little bit of a bobble there coming out of 8. But Scotty gonna run a little wide there and drop those wheels, so it's not like he's just laying back, is it? Ooh. Oh. Up the hill, not sure who that was. That was Kelly, we get a report, just dropping those right side tires at the exit of 6. So, they said he was all the way off the track, the workers just reported. And yet Andrew Long not able to do much with it, and I think Long went, I don't want to get hit when he comes back on, so he probably checked up a little bit.
I don't know, that sunshine that you saw coming up the hill on the front windshield of that Porsche, it was nice and dusty there too, so I don't think Long even could see. Maybe thought better part of Fowler there, lift a little bit and make sure I'm not going to collect them.
That's a very good point. You know, that dust just hangs there, and if it comes back, and again Kelly dropping some tires here as we complete lap 15. 5 laps to go in Touring 2, our last race of day 2 of our 2014 SCCA National Championship runoffs, and this one is getting curiouser and curiouser, and it looks now they are coming up. I'm not sure, that might be Preston Calvert. No, who is that? I can't get the car number, but they are coming up on some traffic, and so, you know, this is going to be one of those scenarios. Can Long actually use this to his advantage, or can Kelly, again with that little bit of extra power? You know, there is no doubt about it, your best friend when you get into traffic is torque.
Oh, absolutely. You're able to try to pick where you want to go. He's got the headlights on that Corvette now, trying to notify the drivers in front of him, hey, I'm coming, or he puts the lights back down, starts flashing those lines. Now, that might have been in a panic when he went off in 6th, he turned those lights on and just noticed they were off. You know, I've done that before. You hit the windshield wipers, you get everything flying all around you.
I think that car he's coming up on is the 29 of Mitch Marvash, who qualified back in 18th, the Wolf Films Beacon Marine 06 Ford Mustang. Nice job by Mitch, sees him coming and almost drives completely off the track to let them get through unabated and let this battle continue. And this is as close as we've seen Andrew Long heading into the corkscrew in a number of laps.
Yeah, he's right there on that back bumper, really starting to pressure him. And you got to think that's working because he already dropped 4 wheels off in turn number 6. Is he going to make a mistake? And Long will pounce the second that happens.
Down through 10. A little bit wide there, and here comes Long. He's going to try and go deep down the inside. He's got position. Kelly has shown and a little bump. That was the first time that they've seriously clocked each other. And look at that. Kelly lets it slide, but keeps it on the track, drops the hammer. Long still on the inside. All the way down through turn 1, as they call it. He's got almost a car ahead, but Kelly on that outside line, we've seen him work magic using this outside rim shot, Jeff. He's going to go for it again. And Long, he needs to exit a little bit out here. He gives him room. That was a gentleman thing to do. And finally, Kelly goes, he got me.
Yeah, he did. You saw him slide out there on the exit of the Andretti hairpin. Just nothing for him. Now he's going to see if he can recover. Did he heat those tires up too much on the exit of 11 and exit of 2? My opinion is he did. I think Long's going to start to pull away now.
It's going to be interesting to see. But, boy, twice now we've seen these guys go through 2-3 corners side by side. And even that touch coming out of 11, it wasn't exactly a hard one. It was just that little bump, and it got Kelly loosened up a little bit. But, boy, this has just been fascinating to watch these two guys race and give each other enough room. Not always complete room, but enough.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. They've done a great job of giving just that little bit, but there's where Kelly's going to shine, pulling up the hill. He puts the nose to the inside, got the headlights back on again, trying to rattle Long now.
Ooh, going to be interesting to see. Boy, that was a beautiful line down through there. Kelly, sideways, trying the move. Down at the apex of 8A, couldn't quite make it work. But he served notice that I am not done with you yet, sir.
No, right there on that back bumper, and Long did not pull away, kind of as I predict. Kyle Kelly doing a great job sticking with this Porsche down in the braking zone. Here's where they tried to make that pass and was able to complete it down in turn number 2 for Long, your new leader in T2, the last lap, but Kelly not giving anything up.
No, and Kelly absolutely spot on that time through that corner nose. Now I've got to really get everything, I'll use all the power I have to make it work. But did you see the attack line he used into the corkscrew to try that? That was fantastic.
Yeah, did a good job. Long got a great run out of turn at number 11, really pulled down into the braking zone. Kelly closes it up. We'll see who gets down to the power a little bit easier here. Right to the edge of the exit of the Andretti hairpin, down here. Tricky turn number 3. The car's pointed to the left, and you got to bring it back around and point it to the right through turn 3 into the braking zone. A slight little lift in 4, hard on the exit, and this little kink underneath the Dunlap bridge.
Kelly, now right there you can see that's where the nimbleness, the agility of that Porsche shows. It just carries a little bit more flow, a little bit more speed here. But now Kelly using the power of that V8 coming out of 5, climbing up that hill, trying to stay close. There's traffic in front of these two again. So we're working lap 18, so when they come by, actually we'll be completing 18 with 2 to go. And again, Kelly gets that rotated a little bit, just straightens that line and drops the hammer up the hill. But this time Long in with enough room that Kelly's not close enough to try anything.
No, but he's getting a better arc through that initial part of the turn-in on the corkscrew and gets that shot down the hill. A little better line than Long and closes that distance a little bit, but Long just edging away. It was half a second at the line last time by.
And the one thing we were talking about with Long, you've got the engine right over those drive wheels. So coming out of turn 11, you know, if he doesn't get that pendulum swinging too much, gets that car at the right spot, drops the hammer, he's got the weight right over those drive wheels. I think that's one of the reasons he's getting that pretty strong launch out of 11, huh?
Yeah, it might be hurting the arrow a little bit, though, with those headlights sticking up. Yeah, could put those things back down, get some more weight back on that nose with the air, but I think he's just trying to rattle a little bit, or could be having some problems with the lights going back and on. But lap traffic down here on the exit. Will that car get out of the way? Not sure. Don't want Long to get hung up on the exit of turn number 2.
Well, this is where Long, this is his strong suit, is this section of the track, and he loses that momentum just a little bit. Now, if the guy stays out, Kelly gets a nice sweep through there. But Kelly, this was good for Kelly because Long has generally been much better through that section of track and opened it up. And here we go as we're, less than 2 laps to go. Kelly comes out of turn number 3, closer than he was last time, Jeff. But we saw what he tried to do 2 laps ago up into the corkscrew.
Yeah, got to give a huge shout out there to Nicole Jacques. She got way out of the way in turn number 2. She's run that Spec Mustang class in the regional competitions of SFR, making their majors debut here at the Runoffs. Great heads up for her in turn 3.
And here we go. Boy, Long, though, got a great run up through 5 and through 6. And Kelly, he was hoping to be a lot closer than this up into turn 8 this time, as we are now making the way down toward the white flag. Going to have 1 lap to go when they get to start finish.
Yeah, Kelly's just so good through the corkscrew and down the hill. If Long makes a mistake there in turn 6 or entering the corkscrew in this last lap, I expect Kelly to make it a side-by-side pass down the hill. It's not over in T2 yet, folks.
Not at all. And Kelly, that was as good as he's looked through turn 10 here in the last couple of laps, and it showed. He was able to draw in just a little bit now. What does he do on the exit? Keeps it nice and smooth, drops the hammer, the white flag flies, and at the line, starting the final lap, the official deficit is 0.7 of a second. He actually ran a lap just a tick quicker than Long did that time as they head into the Andretti hairpin for the last time in T2.
I don't think there's any more lap traffic that's going to play out here, so it's going to be a battle to see if Kyle Kelly can run this Porsche 911 back down and make the move for the lead in T2. I don't think it's going to happen.
Not unless Long makes some sort of a mistake. I think you're absolutely right. But you know Kelly is not going to give it up. Throwing everything at it. Through turn number 4. Coming up and into that little kink. Then up into turn 5. Huge corner here. Late in the race. 20 laps almost in the books. Tires are burned up. Brakes are used up. Up the hill we go into turn 6. This is huge.
Yeah, drivers might be used up here pretty quick too as you come up to the hill. 20 laps in one of these big muscle cars or those Porsche 911s where you're wrangling that rear engine, rear wheel drive car.
Yep.
You get tired here, but watch Kyle Kelly. He's been really good here. Hard on the brakes. You see the rear of that car dancing back. A better line through the corkscrew. Can he get him down here in turn number 9 and 10? He's back on the back bumper now.
He's quick. He's going to pop to the outside, trying to open up the radius. Long protected a little bit, and that might cost him on the exit. This is as close as Kelly has been. One more run through turn 10. He is just rolling in the speed. Here we go. Long going to protect. Kelly's going to swing all the way out. Deep on the brakes. Now the over-under. You know it's coming. It's going to be a drag race. Can Kelly use the power? It is going to be so close. The acceleration. It is Long. Just unbelievably close. The margin of victory, 47 1/1000ths of a second, and that was a brilliant lap by Kyle Kelly right at the end to almost snatch back that win. Unbelievable. That was fantastic, and Kelly just all kinds of sideways there, and that was just phenomenal.
I think he should put that Corvette into the Formula D right there, coming out through side by side. That was a great run for him, giving a little showboat in there on the exit of turn number 2.
Yeah, he was certainly having some fun. Even though he didn't win it, he knew that he had just put on a spectacular show. And I mean, how close? 47 1/1000ths of a second. That's a good way to end a day.
Yeah, you see Long there celebrating inside his car. A well-earned championship in the T2 category and a championship for Fall Line Motorsports. Add to their total here this year, adding it at the SCCA Runoffs, coming right up to the back. I think these guys will be hugging each other at the end. There's going to be no bad blood between these two guys.
No, not at all. I mean, there were a couple of touches, but none of them were anywhere near egregious. And I think it's spectacular. Here comes Kelly. He's going to come up there, and that was a fun one. It was, you know, when it's that fun to call, you got to believe it's way better behind the wheel.
Yeah, it sure is. And getting word that our GoPro Hero Move of the Race Award going to Long, able to hold off Kelly there at the end and making that pass for the win. Yeah. 2 hero moves right there at the end.
Well, that pass for the win, that lead was a very solid one. But boy, we had candidates, didn't we? That last lap by Kelly was pretty hero stuff. Yeah, love it when you have a race that offers up so much excitement. And boy, it had that. And that battle at the end, the pace that those two guys were setting, Jeff, the margin from Kelly back to Matt Slavens in third, who was running a very solid race, was almost 20 seconds. And it was just because the pace of these two guys at the front was just off the charts. Kelly, that last lap, a 38.9 on the 20th lap of a race, when the best laps turned were a 38.1. I mean, that's spectacular.
Yeah, that was 0.6 of a second quicker. Unfortunately, he needed 0.7 of a second quicker to get the win.
Yeah.
Didn't quite make it, but great run for him.
Oh, it was. It was absolutely superb. And I can't wait to hear from these guys on this one. It was a spectacular race. What an absolute show. And it looks like the crew just wanted a quick moment with their new champion, Andrew Long. And why not? They certainly play a huge role in that, of course. And boy, I'll tell you, this is an amazing statistic here. This is Andrew's second ever runoff start, and he brings home a gold.
How about that? Good run for him. Finally getting that gold medal. You try once, you get it the second time. Got to try to get the medal around him and get that winner interview. We'll have our man down there, Hayward Wagner, to interview our winner. Maybe not.
Oh, he forgot about the interview, I think, and just took off on that lap. And so basically, I think what they're doing here, as we said, this is a park, and there is a sound curfew with race cars around the track, and I think they said, you know, we're going to get him out there, let him get his lap in to make sure he gets it, so it's not an issue. That'd be the worst thing in the world, to win the gold medal, have a chat, and then get stopped. And not be able to go. So while he's out on his lap, we're going to check in, and this one should be fun. Second place, the silver medal, Hayward, is Kyle Kelly.
We're standing here with Kyle Kelly. There is brake smoke coming off of the Corvette. That was one heck of a drive, one heck of a race. Before we start talking, I want to show you the live timing here. 47 thousandths of a second margin at the flag. What a race.
Yeah. I wish I had a little more at the end there, like about 47 thousandths, but it was good. It was a good run. It was a little contact, but, you know, I think we had fun.
It looked like you guys were racing really hard, but even with the contact, it was a pretty clean run between you guys. Lots of corners side by side. Talk about what that drive was like.
That drive only could have been done by another gentleman racer. Anyone else other than a professional would have spun us both off. So kudos to him, and that was a great race.
I wanted to ask you about the corkscrew, particularly right after you lost the lead. The guys in the booth noticing that the entry to the corkscrew, just diving into that, kind of a whatever happens on this other side happens attitude. What was your mentality for that corner?
I had it. It was under control, no problem. You know, it's that was the only spot that I could really see in my mirrors that I made up ground, so that's what I did. I pushed a little bit harder. Just wasn't enough at the end.
Now, I noticed right at the finish line, you dropped the headlights, trying to get a little more aero there.
I tried, but just wasn't enough.
Congratulations on a silver medal. A great drive here in T2 for Kyle Kelly. Really one of the best shows we've seen all weekend. Certainly one that will go down in the history of runoffs as a great battle. We've got our third place finisher that we're working our way over to right now. See if we can get a hand with Matt Slavins. Matt, talk to me about the race a little bit. How was it out there? You kind of got left on an island for a bit.
I did, but the beginning was everything. It was just a little bit of patience.
We'll pot it out, right?
Watch to see what happens, and it all went to hell in front of me and got through and then got going. So it made for a great race. Couldn't catch these guys, but I made plenty of space for myself, so that was great. Yeah.
Talk to me a little about the first turn two on the first lap. You probably had a pretty good view of what happened there.
Oh yeah, everything happened right in front of me. It was just carnage. I mean, the car went to the left, cars are going to the right, so what do? I mean, and it's just a big cloud of dust, so you can't see anything. You're just holding on and going through and trying to get through and make sure you didn't get hit. Thankfully, everybody spins out, so I just stayed to the inside line and got through and came out okay.
Well, another medal here at the 2014 Runoffs for Fall Line. Congratulations to you on the bronze.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Looks like we have our race winner rolling in right now. We're going to see if we can get a shot in a little bit of time here with Andrew Long. We sent Andrew out for his victory lap before the interview so that we made sure we got under the Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca time curfew here. And now that he's back, we got some congratulations. We got the window net coming down. Andrew's getting the helmet off, a little help from the crew in this beautiful Porsche. Steering wheel coming off, belts off. All that's left is the helmet and the Hans. He's going to go ahead and jump out here. Just a great battle between Long and Kelly during this race. A lot of side-by-side corners. You guys had a couple of times you touched a little bit. I'm going to let you get the helmet off before we try to hear anything from you. This is our final race here of the day on Saturday, a very compressed time schedule. So we sent Andrew out for a victory lap. Now we're going to get a chance to talk to him. There we go, one more layer. Andrew, it looked like turn 5 was your corner. That was the place if it was going to happen. You had a great roll through 3 and 4 every lap. What happened to turn 5?
I just realized from the beginning that was the only place I was truly quicker than him throughout the whole race, so I took advantage of that towards the closing end of the race and got it done. And can't thank anyone more enough than my parents in Fall Line Motorsports. They're the reason I am where I am today.
Talk to me about racing with Kelly side by side through all these corners. What was that experience for you?
It was honestly the best racing I've done in SCCA. I've raced some of the pro races this year in Continental Tire, and it was the most exciting I've been in a race car this year. So true testament to his driving skill.
Kyle was saying that the corkscrew was his corner. That was a place where he knew he could make some margin. Did you see how hard he was coming after you right after you made the pass on that lap?
I did. I mean, every lap following him through the corkscrew, you could see his car just bottom out. Sparks would fly over my car, and I knew he was strong based on the gap that he would gain each lap there. So I knew I had to get it done before there, and I got it done. So.
Well, that pass earned you the GoPro Hero Move of the race. You're going to get a camera as a prize for that. And you also now hold the record for the closest Runoffs finish in the history of the transponder era. So congratulations to you, sir.
Very much. I couldn't do it without Fall On Motorsports. They're the reason I am where I am today, and a huge thank you to my parents. I cannot thank them enough.
All right, well, congratulations to you. Actually, it was the 5th closest, so it's not quite as good a bragging right, but I bet that gold medal makes up for it. Congratulations to you, sir. We're going to go back upstairs.
Thanks very much, Hayward, and a great job. Yeah, Andrew Long, that was absolutely fantastic. And he's right, okay, so he didn't get the fastest or the closest finish ever in the transponder era, but he's got a gold medal around his neck. That's pretty spectacular. We're going to take a look one more time at that GoPro Hero Move of the Race winning pass that he laid on him, Jeff, and it was a beauty.
Yeah, down here into turn number 11 on the inside of Kelly. It's a braking battle right to the outside. Just that little tiny bit of touch, but Kyle Kelly leaves his foot in it, and they're going to go side by side underneath the bridge, across the line, down into turn number 2, and you think that the advantage here to Long down to the inside, but no, Kelly puts his foot in it, stays to the outside on the exit, and unfortunately just ran out of room there on the exit of the Andretti hairpin.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. I mean, that pass basically took, almost 4 corners to complete. That is spectacular stuff. Certainly hero move worthy. No question about that. And the interesting thing, that run by the start-finish line, about 10 laps later, flipped the positions. That's how close the finish was. I mean, what a foreshadowing of what was a spectacular finish.
Well, I saw, Matt Slavin's getting that interview there, but here's our results here for the top 10.
Absolutely Long, and there's that margin of victory. 5th closest in the transponder era, 47 1/1000ths over Kyle Kelly, who drove a brilliant race as well. Matt Slavin's 3rd. Scotty White up into 4th after everything that's happened to him to come back and put it into the top 4. I think pretty spectacular. And a great day for Gregory Shermer, as I said, qualified 10th up into 5th. Mike Pettiford coming back after that incident as well to 6th. Anthony D'Alessandro had a busy day. He was up and down and ends up back up in 7th. David Ray in 8th. Carl Fung in 9th. And completing our top 10, William Moore.
Well, yeah, it was Slavin's in 3rd there. I saw him get out of the car, and I said, man, he's a big guy with all the beating and banging they had here. I'm glad nobody beat and banged in him, because he might have done some of that himself.
Absolutely, yeah. Sure. He gave it one heck of a run, no question. It was absolutely spectacular. As we said, a fitting way to wrap up the 2nd day of National Championship Runoffs activity at the 2014 SCCA Championship Runoffs at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. Touring 2 completes the 16th of 24 races on an absolutely stunning late afternoon leading into an early evening on the Monterey Peninsula, and a finish that was up to the scenery. Absolutely remarkable. For Jeff Lepper, for Hayward Wagner, I'm Greg Creamer. Thanks so much for joining us for the Battle of the Gold in Touring 2. Take care, everybody.
The 2014 SCCA National Championship Runoffs are being brought to you in HD by Mazda. Conviction, creativity, courage. This is the Mazda way. And by Hankook, driving emotion.
Some people go to enormous lengths in the name of safety, like the inventor of the flame-resistant racing suit, Bill Simpson. Courageous engineering is also the Mazda way, and why the 2014 Mazda 3 has an available class-exclusive suite of 8 safety features and a top safety rating. Because when it comes to safety, you can never go too far. This is the 2014 Mazda 3. What do you drive?
This is Kenny. Kenny is a dentist, but he races autocross on the weekends. But he's not thinking about his tires right now. Kenny buys all his tires from TireRack.com. Using their exclusive test track reviews, he knows he's always getting the right tires for his car. But Kenny's not thinking about tires right now. Kenny's thinking, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. This is awesome. TireRack.com, proud sponsor of the Tire Rack SCCA National Solo Program.
The machines and their manufacturers span the planet. This is no spec series. Diversity breeds excellence and brings battle. Ride with the best and test the iconic circuits of North America. No pit stops, no